My parents made me pay rent at 16. Now I'm their landlord. A week after my 16th birthday, I get my first job at McDonald's. First paycheck hits my account on a Friday. By Saturday morning, Dad tells me I'm paying rent now. $600 a month for my childhood bedroom. You're earning now, he says, not looking up from his coffee. Time to contribute. My brother Spencer is 22. He lives in our basement with a king-size bed, gaming setup, and his own bathroom. Pays exactly $0. Spencer is finding himself, Mom explains when I ask. Spencer's path apparently involves sleeping until 2 p.m. and working 10 hours weekly at our uncle's warehouse. I balance school and 25-hour work weeks. My GPA stays at 3.8 because I need scholarships. Every 2 weeks, I hand over $300 while Spencer gets his third car after totaling the last one. He needs reliable transportation, Dad says, signing the loan papers. I ride my bike to work in the rain. When I ask for help buying a graphing calculator for AP Calculus, Mom sighs. We just helped Spencer with his car payment. Can't you borrow one? I buy a used one off Craigslist for $30. I get accepted to a state university with a partial scholarship. I need my parents to co-sign student loans for the rest. Dad shakes his head. Can't do it, too much liability. 2 weeks later, Spencer announces he's starting a podcast about finding your authentic self. Dad builds him a $3,000 soundproof recording booth in the basement. Spencer needs total silence during working hours for recording. Mom calls me into the living room. Honey, we need you to move to the guest room. Spencer needs your room for his recording studio. The guest room is half the size with no closet. I move. I take out private student loans at 9% interest. I work 2 jobs and pay my parents $900 monthly. They increased it when I got the second job. Then Spencer's girlfriend moves in. My parents renovate the entire basement for them. New flooring, updated bathroom, mini kitchen. I get promoted to assistant property manager at a real estate office. I tell them at dinner. That's nice, sweetie, Mom says without looking up. The next month, my rent increases to $1,300. You got a raise, didn't you? Dad says. I move out that month and start a new life for myself. I get my real estate license at 25. I'm so proud. I passed the exam on the first try and land a job at a major commercial firm. I invite my parents to the license ceremony. They don't show. Spencer's podcast apparently has its first real listener that day, and they're celebrating. At 28, I close my first major deal. A small apartment building, 8 units. I become a property manager and investor. I invite them to the ribbon cutting. Can't make it, Mom texts. Spencer's podcast won the Rising Voices contest. It was a local thing with like 12 entries. I buy my second building at 30. Every milestone, I reach out. Every time, they're too busy. Your brother needs support, Mom says when I finally confront her. He's sensitive. You've always been the strong one. I stop calling. They don't notice. 5 years of silence. Then my phone rings. Honey, we need to talk. Mom's voice cracks. We're in trouble. They're facing foreclosure. 0 retirement savings. They spent everything. New cars every few years, vacations, all funding Spencer's failed business ventures. The bank sent the final notice 2 months ago. We need your help, Dad says on speakerphone. You owe us. We raised you. I let the silence hang for a moment. We need a place to live, Mom continues. I was looking at your property listings online. That penthouse in your Riverside building is perfect. You can just let us live there. Family helps family. I laugh. There are current tenants. Just evict them, Dad interrupts. Blood is thicker than water. Surely they'll understand. But here's where it gets interesting. Actually, I can offer you something, I say. I have a unit available in one of my other buildings. 4th floor, 1 bedroom, $1,800 per month. First month, last month, security deposit, standard lease terms. The line goes so quiet I think they hung up. You're charging us rent? Mom finally gasps. You charged me rent at 16, I reply, while Spencer lived free. I'm just teaching you responsibility. Isn't that what you taught me? That was different, Dad shouts. You were learning to be an adult, and now you're learning the consequences. $1,800. Take it or leave it. Let me know by Friday. My mom's voice cracks. But you're our son. I was never your son. I was your tenant, so now you can be mine.